Listen, brother, Islam means peace. And we say this we say this with a big smile on our faces, especially when we're around non-Muslims. You know, when you're around non-Muslims, things can actually gets a bit heated sometimes, you know, it gets a bit tense. So many Muslims will tell you that, brother, Islam means peace, thinking this is appealing to people. Whereas in reality, Islam does not mean peace. Never has meant peace, never will mean peace. I'm not saying Islam is not a peaceful religion. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying this. But the word Islam, and this is the problem, if the very definition of my deen I'm getting it wrong, what does it say about the rest of it? If I have a wrong understanding of the very name of my faith, then you understand why a lot of us are confused. So let's go to the very, very beginning. What does Islam mean? Who's going to help me out tonight? The word Islam means submission. And wallahi, tonight's lesson is for Muslims and non-Muslims. Islam means submission. To who? To what? To my desire? To my dad? To the area? To social norms? Pressures? Peer pressure? Submission to who? To what? You as a Muslim, you need to understand that this Islam means submission. To what? To who? To Allah. So Islam means submission. To who? To what? To Allah and His Prophet and my dad and my mom and the area and the boys. To who? To Allah and His Prophet only. Period. Islam is submission. How much submission? 10%? 50%? 80%? When I like it? When it suits me? When it feels right? When it's acceptable in my community? When? And how much? Allah says, all. Completely. Islam is submission. Full submission, complete submission. To who? To what? To Allah and His Prophet only. Does Allah need me? No. Does Allah need my salah? No. Does Allah need my conviction in my faith? No. Does Allah is free from anything and anyone. In trying to convince the non-Muslim, we skip the very basics of Islam. If you have not established Allah with the non-Muslim that you're talking to, anything you speak to them about after, it's insignificant. It doesn't matter anymore, because the very essence you've missed. So Islam is submission completely and fully to Allah, the creator of all things, to Allah and His Prophet. Not because we simply like His Prophet, not because His Prophet happened to be an Arab and most of us. No, 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 no. His Prophet because He chose His Prophet. And it's not just Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam simply because, wallah, you know what, we have a liking towards him. No, 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 no. Why Rasulullah? Why him? Him because Allah told me him. Does that make sense? Him because Allah chose him. Islam is submission. Those people that submit, they're called what? Muslims. You with me? Those people that have submitted completely and fully to Allah and His Prophet, what's their name? They're Muslims. Meaning, he has submitted. Aslam, he's a Muslim. Aslam, he submitted. To who? To Allah and His Prophet. Is that pretty clear so far? Yes, it's not confusing so far? Why am I insisting on this? Because you and I as Muslims need to understand that number one, Allah doesn't need me. Number two, I wasn't forced to be Muslim. Islam is a decision that who made? I made. You made. Islam is a decision that I've made. That Allah Azza wa Jal, He's the King, He's the Creator, He's the all-knowing, all-seeing, and this Allah has sent me a Prophet to teach me and show me what He wants, when He wants it, how He wants it. Now me and you and I, we've accepted that, look, really at the end of the day, bro, and the simple things I can't get it right. Simple things I can't get it right. I've accepted Allah as my creator. I know that He's the creator of all things. Anything that comes from Allah now, anything that comes from Allah, is it good or bad? I know it seems like simple questions, but wallah, you have no idea what's happening outside, man. Forget outside, wallah, some of us even in our own hearts. My brothers, Allah Azza wa Jal, is He pure or not? And you might think, why is He asked? Because we need to renew our faith in Allah. Allah is only pure, and He only accepts that which is pure. Allah is only pure, and He only accepts that which is pure. Does Allah know anything? Does Allah know all things or not? Does Allah contradict Himself? My brothers? Al-Yawma, now Allah speaking to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam and the believers. Who? The Muslims. Who's the Muslim? The one that submitted. To who? To Allah and His Prophet fully. Allah speaking to them. Al-Yawma akmaltu lakum deena. Today I have perfected your religion. I have completed it. I have bestowed my bounties and my blessings upon you. And I have chosen Islam as my way and my path. Islam as my way and my path. If you don't like it, that's fine. Find something else. Find something else. Brother, how can you say that? Because this is Allah's Deen. And there is no room in Allah's Deen, not for me or a million like me, not only to come and play, but to even have an opinion. Allah's not interested in your opinion. This is my Deen, this is my way, this is my path, this is my book, this is my Prophet. You cannot, no matter how hard you try, no matter how hard you argue, you cannot enter Islam, so you cannot enter paradise except through these two. He sallallahu alayhi wasallam, again, when he was leaving, he looks at the companions and he says to them, I leave you with two things. Two things. Look, many things will come in your life. Speaking to the Sahabas, imagine us. Many things will come. Trials and tribulations and fitan will come, and differences of and confusion will definitely be there. But what's the solution? He says, I leave you with two things. So long as you hold on to these two, so long as you hold on, not you discuss them, not wallah you talk about them, not wallah, you know, now today Deen, forgive me my brothers, Deen has become what? Even amongst religious, I hate the word religious, because really, who's religious? Really? Actually, who determines who's religious? Tell me. Have you ever noticed that? Who determines who's religious? Tell me who. So even amongst religious brothers, Deen has become what? Tell me. It's become conversation. Now brothers sitting on a dining table, families sitting at dinner, talking about Deen like it's what? Wallahi, speaking about Deen like it's the footy. Now these guys, he'll sit and then he'll speak about Deen like Deen is based on how he feels. What are your thoughts? What do you think, bro? Nah, you know what, wallahi man, Allahu A'lam, but I don't think that's right. Habibi, no, anta, when you say that, I don't think that's, I don't think that's right. What's that based on? Please, for the love of Allah. Again, just between you and yourself, honestly, when you say to me, brother, I don't think that's right, what's that based on, bro? What is it, thoughts, feelings? He says, I leave you with two things. So long as you hang on to them, so long as you grab onto them. His words, not mine, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He says, you will never go astray. Never. Never. He says, I leave you with the Qur'an and my family, Ahl al-Bayt. And in another narration, a weaker narration, he says, I leave you with the Qur'an and my Sunnah. And his family is on the Sunnah. Yani, what's his family on? Some other Deen. He says, so long as you hang on to them, you will never go astray. My brothers and sisters, understand something very deeply. The Deen of Allah, the science of Islam, is not like the science of anything else. You see, any other science, with the exception of Islam, it only gets better and it strengthens with time. Why do Muslims do what they do, my brothers? Because now there's an attack on Islam, and the attack is not to make you leave Islam. It's more cunning. The attack is to make you, doubt Islam. To doubt, not Allah. We've established God exists. No, but to make you doubt the laws of Allah. Why? But why do we have to do this, brother? Why can't we do it like this? Are you with me or not? Are you with me? Why, brother? Like, how come? Why did the Prophet of Allah say that? Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Well, how come? But brother, but there's better ways around it. Is this Islam? Is this submission? What's Allah looking for? Submission. This is how you show Allah love. We need to understand, my brothers, that our deen, our halals and our harams and our rights and our wrongs are there because Allah put them there. And that's where the conversation stops. Right there. Right there. Today Muslims are falling all over themselves, coming up with all these weird theories as to why we do what we do and why we don't do the things that we don't do, trying to appeal to the masses. That's not your job. That's not my job. Why is this halal? Because who made it? Because Allah said it's halal. And why is this haram? Why? Are you confused? Because Allah said it's haram. Full stop. Full stop. That's where the conversation ends. Because if you try any other method, you confuse yourself and you confuse others. So I'll give you an example. I love this example because wallah, it's almost like as if it comes off the production line and every Muslim's got it. Why is pig haram? Wallahi, actually just today I had a non-Muslim in the car and he asked me this question. Pig, why is it haram? I've heard the funniest thing from Muslims. Brother, eat the Al-Quran, Allah, it's haram because there's this worm in it, and no matter how much you cook it and how much you boil it, this worm, it's like a bacteria and you can never get rid of it. And Allah and this scientist and that. And wallahi, I'm just amazed with the things that Muslims say. It's haram because who said so? Do I need to know why? You can, that's fine, it's no problem. But me, do I need to know why? Khalas, it's haram. Allah said it's haram. Habibi, He knows what I don't know. He knows what I don't know. So when Allah Azza wa Jal tells me to stay away from this, is that because Allah doesn't want me to have fun? Is that because Allah doesn't want me to enjoy myself? So when Allah tells me stay away from this, is that for my betterment or not? Is that for my success or not? So why am I staying away from it? Because it has a bacteria in it? Because it's pink and its tail is like that? Some brothers think it's because of the tail. And some brothers think because it looks like a, because it's smart, and because when it fell on its face, and that's why it's not. The funniest things I've heard, the funniest things. Is that why pig is haram, my brothers? Is that why we don't eat pig? You know what the problem is with these arguments? You know what the problem with these arguments is? Because unfortunately now science, this fitna that we call science, wallahi, it's a big fitna, man. Big fitna. Science and scientists are slowly replacing Allah and His Prophet. They're slowly replacing Allah and His Prophet in the eyes of many Muslims. The problem with these arguments is this. Is if I tell someone that look, pig is haram, it's prohibited because it has a bacteria, no matter how much you cook it and boil it and you can never get rid of it. If this brother says to me, mate, what if we can come up with a pig that we put together in the lab and we can guarantee you that there's no bacteria in it? Would you eat it? But you said we don't eat it because of the bacteria. Can I eat it if there's no bacteria in it? Habibi, if you take it to the lab or you take it to Jahannam, it's haram because Allah said it's haram. And that's where it ends. I have submitted completely to God, the Lord Almighty. My Lord has told me stay away, I stay away. Why don't we eat it? Because Allah said so, and that's it. That's really where the conversation ends. Today, this guy that I had in the car with me, he said to me, like, how come you guys don't eat bacon, eh? I said to him, because my Lord has told me to stay away from it, so I stay away from it. He said to me, is that all? I said to him, yeah, that's all. I said, it's not cursed, it's not like some evil animal. It's an animal like all the other animals. It's a creation of Allah. In that sense, we love and in that sense that it's a creation of Allah, He worships Allah, and it has its role in it has its role. But Allah has told us to stay away from it. Wallahi, he said, is that all? I said, yeah, that's all. He said, man, some guy once told me that he did a sexual act in front of God, so God cursed it and did. Some Muslim, wallahi, some Muslim. So that's it. It's haram because Allah said it's haram. And that's really where the conversation ends. That's really where and you need to understand, why do women cover up? Why? Because Allah said so. Why do you fast the month of Ramadan? No, because some scientists said that if you fast, it does this amazing thing to your body, and I'm sure there's a lot of amazing benefits through fasting. There's no deny, I'm sure there is. But we do what we do because Allah said so. Full stop. Full stop. Don't fall all over yourself trying to convince and come up with this amazing theory. You and I as Muslims, we do what we do because Allah said so, and we don't do what we don't do because Allah Azza wa Jal said so. He knows what I don't know. And my job as a Muslim, someone that has submitted completely to Allah, is to follow and to obey. And if I follow and I obey, whether people like it or not, you will find happiness and success in this world and in the hereafter. And you know what I find amazing, my brothers? You know what I find amazing? Is sometimes when you say this to people, nah, brother, not me. I have to know. Again, this is a door of shaitan. That look, brother, I have to know. Habibi, anta, wallah, please, Allah da'alak, anta ya muhandis, sit down before you hurt yourself. When you accepted Allah in the beginning, you accepted Him to be the all-knowing, true or not? The all-seeing, the all-wise, the all-powerful. So when this Allah sends me something, He says to me, don't do it. I don't need to investigate after. You can, that's fine. There's no problem in you finding out the wisdom behind things. That's fine. But to question Allah, why did Allah, why? Why is Allah doing this? Why did Allah make this halal? Why did Allah make this haram? Habibi, anta, you and I, what position are you in to do that? What position are you in to do that? What position are we in? And this same, and again, this is what I find interesting. This same brother Every single one of us, we submit to anything and everything else except when it comes to the things I should be submitting to with my eyes closed. I'll give you an example. Wallahi, most of us, so that I don't fall in trouble, most of us here now, yeah, when you go to the doctor, does anyone question the doctor? Do you? You don't question. And you take it 3 times a day after your meals. Why? Because the doctor said so. The doctor knows what I don't know. And that if I want to get better, then you need to follow the doctor's orders. Throughout the whole process, you didn't ask a single question. You didn't raise a single eyebrow. From one guy to another, you're putting a foreign object, a drug, down your throat, followed by water. Throughout the whole process, you didn't ask a single question. You didn't raise a single eyebrow. From one guy to another, you're putting a foreign object, a drug, down your throat, followed by water, with yaqeen and conviction that this is good for me. But every Tom, Dick and Harry wants to question Allah as to why He did and why He didn't. Yalla, come on, all of us now. Every person has an opinion, and every person wants to question Allah as to why He did and why He didn't. But why is this like that for, brother? Convince me. Convince me, brother. Your argument isn't too convincing. Really? Really? You can't sort your own problems out. If I was to tell you pick a number between 1 and 10, you wouldn't even know from which part of the brain that came from. But you have the audacity to question Allah Azza wa Jal as to why He did and why He didn't. And worse still, you have the audacity of going around promoting that you're a Muslim. Habibi, I don't know what Islam you're talking about. Because going back to the beginning of my talk, that's not Islam. Islam is complete and full submission to Allah. Allah's not interested in your feelings and my feelings. Allah's not interested in the opinion and the flow of what's out on the street, public perception. Habibi, leave that to democracy. That's not to Islam. The deen of Allah is complete. It's not open for negotiation. You want to make up your own rules, fine. But don't call it Islam. Don't twist and play with the deen of Allah to make it, fit your whims and your desires. It's not how it works. That's not Islam. That's your own version of events. Islam is what Allah and His Prophet wants. فِيمَا شَجَرَ بَيْنَهُمْ. Allah says they will never believe. Their faith will forever be incomplete until they make you, Ya Rasulullah, the judge, not in some of their affairs, not when they want, not when they pick and choose. Allah says until they make you the judge in all of their affairs. Deen. This is Deen. You want Islam? You go outside, wallahi, bro, people are lost, people are confused. Wallahi, even amongst religious people, wallahi, I don't even know, like where do you draw the line anymore? فَلَا وَرَبِّكَ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ حَتَّى يُحَكِّمُوكَ, until they make you the judge, Ya Rasulullah, in... My brothers, this is for you. This is, wallahi, today's talk, today's khutbah. Please don't think about people outside. Think about yourself, bro. Wallahi, this is why we're struggling. Why are our marriages failing? Why? You know why? Because the truth is, Allah and His Prophet are not the judge in all of our affairs. They're the judge in some of our affairs. In the affairs that I like. In the affairs of when it's going to suit me. Are you with me? Please, wallahi, I beg you. Surah An-Nisa. Go home today, wallahi, just read the verse. What an amazing verse. حَتَّى يُحَكِّمُوكَ فِي مَا شَجَرَ بَيْنَهُمْ, until they make you the judge in all of their affairs. ثُمَّ لَا يَجِدُوا فِي أَنفُسِهِمْ حَرَجًا مِمَّا قَضَيْتَ. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Not only, Ya Rasulullah, are they to make you the judge in all of their affairs. but they are to find no difficulty, no hardship, no bitterness in whatever your judgment is. Are you with me? When Allah and His Prophet declare a matter, not only are you supposed to take it, Allah wants more. Not only are you supposed to take it, but you are supposed to feel no hardship, no bitterness in whatever the verdict is.